So it's time to take a look at the third vehicle of the Chieftain Platoon, and that is the ZT3A2. Now, I like to drive ATGM boxes, I love my ATGM boxes, but this thing is a bit different. It's huge, it's based on the Rattle 20 or Rattle 90 hull, has absolute no armor and has wheels. Now it has a new form of missile, it has tandem missiles which are good against explosive reactive armor. Has two types of ATGMs, one is classic, one is the tandem, which has over 1000 millimeters of penetration, which is at the moment the highest penetrating weapon that we have in this game. So there is nothing that this cannot go through. But overall, this vehicle is a bit difficult to drive around, mostly because it's using wheels. The Centauro, for example, is also using wheels, but the Centauro is a bit more maneuverable and you can actually play that thing properly. This thing, I don't know. I really wish that the controls for wheeled vehicles were a bit different, since for this thing the controls suck. Not only is it very difficult to control, but it's sliding all over the place. Even though you're going in a straight line, the vehicle starts to do weird things. Now the good and bad thing is the size. This thing is enormous. It's very tall. It's honestly one of the tallest vehicles. I think it's even taller than the trunk. So you really have to be careful where you go with this thing. You want to make sure that only the missile is visible on top and nothing else. And that's a bit difficult to do with the size of this thing. So yeah, I'm going to be sitting here in this little position, since if I move a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, I'll get lynched by everything else on the enemy team there. So you really have to be careful where you go with this thing. Not only is the height of this vehicle kind of a problem, it kind of also works in your favor, since you can take advantage of some positions where other ATGM boxes cannot go to. And this is not a ATGM box, this is a ATGM bus. It's not a box, this is a bus. It's huge. Honestly, this is huge. And it can spam missiles, by the way. You can launch 3 ATGMs in a row if you want. So that is kind of funny. You can spam ATGM. So the firepower on this thing is definitely crazy. When it comes to ATGM performance and ATGM damage, and when it comes to the overall strength of the missiles, this is by far the best ATGM launcher that we have in the game. Is it the best vehicle though? Probably not. The vehicle is... I really wish that these missiles were attached on something else, not on a rattle, because again, it is really annoying to drive a wheeled vehicle in this game. The wheeled vehicle performance needs to be definitely changed. They need to be more responsive to commands. Sometimes they don't even drive when you want them to drive, which is hilarious and very, very annoying, but it is what it is. I guess it has to have some drawbacks. Oh, a leopard. No, leopard run away. Oh well. Now the missiles are reloading. The reload isn't that bad, considering the fact that you can spam 3 missiles. 15-second reload is not that bad, comparable to the single missile reload on the other 8 GM carriers. But yeah, best thing to do is find a position like this and move forward and backwards, so that the tank doesn't do weird things. Not tank, but this thing doesn't do weird things. It start to slide. You can get killed by any high explosive, any SPAA, any bomb that drops within 500 meters of the vehicle kills you. So yeah, you want to be sure that you are definitely in the clear when you launch the missile. I usually don't spam the missile, since if the first one doesn't kill it, well, I mean, if the first ATGM doesn't kill it, I spam the missiles, but I try not to spam, it's wasting ammo. One missile at a time should be more than enough. I also just noticed that huge wheel at the back of the hull. Nice little high explosive bait there. If you get hit anywhere by any high explosive, you die with this thing. When they add realistic battles, I believe vehicles like ATGM carriers will be dominant because it's very easy to use them in realistic battles. You don't have to aim up a lot, you don't have to compensate for gravity and stuff. So yeah, these vehicles will be very fun in realistic battles. And there is no friendly fire. I wanted to test that. There is no friendly fire, thankfully. It would be funny if there was friendly fire. That would be a very dead T-62 there. In any case, let's go to the next battle. So, I already covered the size of this thing. It's huge. This thing is very big. So, you really want to be behind a lot of cover if you want to drive this thing. Not going to be as low profile as the IT-1 with the Raketniak-Panzer, that's for sure. This thing, you can put like 3 Raketniak-Panzers on top of each other and they will still not be tall enough to reach the height of this thing. Same can be said about the IT-1. You can place like 4 of them on top of each other and they will still be shorter than this thing. This thing is huge. This thing is really huge. Yeah, I love ATGM boxes, but man, this thing is annoying with its size. And the missile is insane. I mean, the ATGM does crazy amount of damage, that's for sure. It is a nasty missile. The tandem missiles are very nasty. That's a fact. There is no denying there. It just kills anything it hits, but the vehicle itself is really annoying to use. And I think we'll get more ATGM boxes in the future, hopefully more tandem boxes with something similar to this thing, and hopefully with tracks, because man, let me tell you, using this thing with wheels is annoying. And I don't have anything against wheeled vehicles. I think that the controls for them are just not well made for this game at the moment. I feel like the controls need to be adjusted. They need to be changed. They need to be more responsive to inputs. Oh look, a Shift and Mark 10, and it's alive. And I'm reloading. Oh, that's a very slow rotating turret. Yeah, that turret is damaged. That turret is gone. Load faster. Load the missile faster. Oh my god, it's still alive. Next. There we go. That's some bad luck there. And I had to detonate the ammo. Didn't want to kill crew. Had to detonate the ammo, which is very weird. Oh, another little vehicle running, and yeah, someone else got the kill. Now the missile velocity seems to be a little bit slower than the ATGMs that we had in the past. The missile seems slow. Both the first missile that we have and the tandem missile, they seem to be a little bit slow on the velocity side of things. They really don't feel to be faster than the other ATGMs that I have been using. Of course, I get not a revenge bomber, but yeah, you can definitely expect me to get bombed. 7 bombs on this vehicle, ignoring the entire enemy team. That's usually what's happening when I'm driving any type of vehicle. Control-wise, feels like a BTR, I think. Yeah, definitely feels like a BTR, to be honest. Although the BTR did seem a bit more maneuverable than this thing. Can I shoot something? Nope. Nothing to shoot at. You cannot shoot on the move, by the way. You have to be stationary in order to launch the missiles, which kinda sucks, I guess. Would be awesome if you could shoot on the move with this thing. I think it would be a much more pleasant vehicle to use. I would be able to actually do something with the overall current controls, but now you have to rely on positioning. At least with this vehicle, you have to rely on position, and you can't really do the same thing that you can do with the IT-1, for example, since the IT-1 can shoot on the move. Although the IT-1 has a very poor ATGM with not a lot of penetration, and overall it's one of the earliest ATGMs that you get, but it is still very sneaky and it's still a very good vehicle. I have 3 missiles, yeah, 3, of course, again, really. Am I like the only vehicle in the game, so I get like shot by fighters and bombers or something? Like every battle I play, it doesn't matter what tier, I always get the revenge bombs. And speaking of the IT-1, there is one. And yeah, 2 missiles. I love the fast reload. One good thing about the missile launcher, as I mentioned before, is that fast reload. You can spam the missiles. If the first one doesn't kill, there is 2 more behind. And that's amazing for the... That's actually pretty amazing for this vehicle. The missile performance is definitely something that is pretty good on this vehicle. If the maps were a little bit larger, we may be a bit more fun, but nonetheless it still gets the job done, I guess, so can't really complain. It has a machine gun, but that machine gun isn't really doing much, so yeah. Yeah, that ATGM is definitely very slow. That rocket is definitely very slow. That missile, rocket and missile, not same. And they're not looking at me, that's a miracle. Usually the first thing that they're looking at is my tank. Okay, it's 1 hit, second missile, and third missile. Let's see if I kill this thing. Yes, there we go. Took me 3 ATGMs to kill it, but it did get a shot, and that would be it for the match. Well, that was the ZT. Very odd vehicle, very crazy missile performance actually. And it's definitely fun. I'll be driving it a lot more. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe. And as always, I'll see you next time.